Welcome in, everyone, to the right side of campus. Don't adjust your TVs, don't adjust your computers. It is the right side of campus. We're live. It's 10 a.m., our new time slot, November 20th, 2017. Excited to be here, excited to take the place of Loshak in the bag. They'll be on a little bit later, but we're on today, reliving the weekend here. Sports. It's nice to be on. It's a little earlier, but it's nice to be on. I'm excited to be here. Donnie Rightside, you're here, my partner in crime. We got a new time slot. Don't adjust your computer screens. We're here.
We're live and in charge. Hey, Monday's 10 a.m. now. You get to relive everything. And as you know, people filter in, you're going to get to feel the show, what it's about. I mean, hey, we're sports guys, me and the big man on campus. There's no question about it. We come on SBR, try to do our best. We give picks and opinions. We're really excited about this 10 to 11 slot Eastern time just because the fact is we get to wake up with you guys. What happened last night? Maybe like me. Like usually I'm an old man. I'm usually in bed by 11 o'clock. I don't see it. But of course I stayed up last night to watch all of the festivities, as we will be doing now. Maybe you missed something last night. We're going to talk a little bit like, sports culture. We'll have some fun on the show. And it's all about the live chat box. Wherever the show goes, the chat box is going to take us. It'll be a little bit more regimented from our end. We'll make sure we hit some certain topics out there. We'll still give out picks. We'll still give out analysis. This is what we're here for on sportsbookreview.com. We're going to have a lot of fun and really, Jeff, excited to kick off this new breakfast edition.
Yeah, excited. We'll, like Donnie said, kind of go wherever the chat takes us. But, Monday's always a great day to recap, Donnie. A lot went on over the weekend. But look, first, we got to say a little prayer for the Dallas Cowboys. Funerals today. I'm dressed in black. Looks like you're
Mm-hmm.
dressed in black.
Yep.
It's time to dress in black and put the final coffin into the ground and say bye-bye, Dallas Cowboys. See you later. Have a good season. Enjoy your rest of the season in not making the playoffs. Well, maybe you might make the playoffs, but you're not making it in the NFC East. See you later. Donnie, a great night last night, and it wasn't a great first half. 9-7, Eagles down at half. But you know what? I was on the betcast. People were busting my balls. Oh, well, here come the Cowboys. This isn't the Eagles. We knew this was a fraud team. They haven't played anybody, blah, 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 blah. But then the second half comes, Donnie, 30-0. The Eagles outscored the Cowboys in the second half. Wentz made plays that we didn't think he could make, but he made them. The run game was on fire. Ronald Darby comes back, a leading tackler, and has an interception. Dak Prescott throws 3 picks and sacked 4 times. What a great game. What a great second half. Eagles roll. Just like we told you they would, Donnie. We told you all week. This was going to be this was a blowout. It was a blowout. 26-point blowout, Donnie. You got to love it. Bye-bye, Cowboys.
Look, I mean, when you go down this path, Jeff, because we're on the air and our shows are time stamped and we can't get away with say, I didn't say that or I didn't mean it that way or I didn't do that. I didn't go to college to be a doctor. But if I look at this circumstance with the Cowboys, you know how you go in, you get that bad news from the doctor and the doctor says, look, man, time's about up on this planet and, there's nothing you can do about it. And you might fight it and you say, no, doc, it can't be true. 2 weeks ago, the minute Ezekiel Elliott was suspended, I came on the air and said the Dallas Cowboys will not make the playoffs because Atlanta is going to bury them. They did. I cashed in on that. The following week, the Eagles are going to put the lights out on the Dallas Cowboys, and they did. I was told all the time, it's Zach, it's Zeke. Zeke's not the show. Like, it's Dak. It's Dak's show. He's going to carry him. Last 2 weeks combined, 6 turnovers for Boy Wonder back there, 1 touchdown. You know how long they drove for that touchdown, folks? 22 yards for that touchdown. 1 touchdown in 2 games. But yet again, folks, star running backs who are the best player on the football team do not matter in the NFL.
Donnie, he's nothing without Ezekiel Elliott. We're seeing that. He's crumbled without him. He's crumbled without his boy. He's crumbled. I mean, am I the only one that's seen that? He's not the same quarterback without his running back. Stop making excuses. He's just not as good as we thought he was. And he in the big stage, the big lights, he failed. He floundered. He floundered like the fish I catch down the shore in August. on the when you pull them in, they flounder on the on the boat. He choked. Choke time. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
over. See
just
ya.
watching the football game, like when you can hand off to the best running back in the NFL, the defense has to key that running back every single play. And you heard on Alfred Morris had a decent night last night, had popped off a couple nice runs last night, but he's not Zeke Elliott. And give me how Rod Smith was dominant last night. Remember, in the building, the people in the building, this guy's a steal. I mean, this guy's a flat out steal. You don't draft running backs in the top 3 and try to replace them with average spare parts out there. You don't draft a quarterback mid-rounds and expect him to carry your football team. Do I think that Dak is a good NFL quarterback? Sure. We see the NFL out there, Jeff, playing. You see the guys popping in and out who are horrific quarterbacks. Dak's going to be around for a while in this football league. But Dak is nothing without maybe last year, Jeff, the best offensive line or one of the best offensive lines in the history of the NFL, one of the best rookie campaigns for running back in the history of the NFL. There's something to be said about that. The minute it all goes on the young kid's shoulders, he came up lame 2 straight weeks, and now you're going into Thanksgiving 5-5. And again, the burial was called 2 weeks ago. You guys tried to fight it as long as you could, Cowboy. I get it. I get it, Jeff. There's Cowboy fans out there, and you want to be loyal to your team. I get it. Sometimes you have to take the glasses off. Dak's a good quarterback, and the Dallas Cowboys are dead now, dead in the water.
By the way, for Rod Smith, 11 yards and 8 carries.
Wait a second. I thought, a beast mode.
Some high-level running back he is. But yeah,
and Jeff, I'm not even a bad person. Like you see in the background right here, you probably can't see it too clear. There's a nice wreath. It's a nice Dallas Cowboys wreath. We can place it on the grave, and say, look, you guys had a nice run. You're 5-5. Enjoy the rest. Enjoy the season, man. Thanksgiving's coming up. Isn't this what Dallas lives for? They live for this. And don't worry, Jeff, because ready? We're going to rev up that engine today. You're going to hear all the talk. Jerry Jones going to get out front. Dak's going to get out front. Like, you know what? We'll circle the wagons now. We're 5-5. No reason to believe that we can make a playoff run at this point. I love it. God love you, Dallas. God.
It's nice seeing that punk Chris Christie in the box, too. What a punk. What a punk. I mean, it's just a pathetic joke. I mean, he's always down there, wiping off Jerry Jones's tears off his face. What a punk. But by the way, Donnie, a game stayed under the total. Definitely, Dallas doesn't score a touchdown in the game, which hurts. I mean, Eagles scored 37. You have to think at least Dallas get a touchdown and get that up and over the total. But many mistakes by Dak Prescott kind of aided that one not going over the total. So Eagles covered, but game stays under. So
yeah, how about that too? I mean, you lose your kicker basically on the first play of the game. He's so I mean, there's a reason why you had to miss a 33-yarder that wasn't even close in a dome. The kid was concussed. Then you have a linebacker that's blasting touchback. I couldn't even believe what I was watching out there. It's like next man up for the Eagles. In the second half, you go, it's a close ball game. It's going to hurt not having a kicker. The Eagles just punch it in 4 times. It was just, when the mettle of the team shows up, good football teams are able to overcome adversity, and they keep on doing it. And it's a lot of fun. And if you guys are just tuning in right now, I know it's a lot of Eagles talk. But for 2 weeks, when you hear it from the other side, oh my God, Dallas Cowboys playing for their life. Oh my God, we have the best quarterback in the league. Oh my God. And can we just put this to bed too? Wentz is leaps, years, head, and shoulders above Dak Prescott. And it's not even close. Like, just take that book right now, Jeff. Close it for good. Sign and seal it. Put it in the ground. It's over. It's over who the better quarterback is. I think it's pretty apparent.
Totally agree with you. Other big stories just today in the NFL, Donnie. Saints come back down 15 points.
Yeah.
They don't stop playing.
5 minutes to go.
Yeah, they don't stop playing. Redskins do, and they choke it away. And big win for the Saints. Would have been nice to see the Saints lose yesterday, especially with it being Eagle fans, and the Rams obviously lose. Would have nice to have seen the Redskins do their job, but they quit. They fail. A big win for the Saints. That game goes way over. However, though, Redskins do cover. Redskins getting almost double digits was kind of tough to pass up. Saints, were they exposed just today, Donnie? Because I got a feeling kind of they were.
They had a key injury yesterday. But again, as an Eagle fan, we're always going to look in the rear view mirror. You know what I mean? Say, well, who's upcoming next? But put the Eagles and New Orleans Saints on the same field. The Eagles are a better football team than the Saints are. I mean, they're just better. Like, and again, like we heard last week also, Jeff. The Eagles ain't putting up 30 against this. The Eagles put up 30 against everybody. Eagles played one half of football and put up damn near 40 points. They're a machine. The Eagles are a machine right now. What are we running there? Are we 5 running backs deep right now? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you got Clement, Ajayi, Blunt, Barner.
I mean, it was
Smallwood,
amazing.
wherever he is. I haven't seen Smallwood in a couple weeks. I
Nah,
guess,
he's inactive
and
right
then
now.
Pumphrey's on injured reserve. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's quite a few running backs in this team. Rams Vikings was fun. That one stayed under. However, the Vikings, what a second quarter or second half. I mean, that one 7-7 at half. They outscored the Rams 17-0 in the second half. Big win for the Vikings. Donnie right side. Also, couple late games. Broncos lose yet again. They lose 20-17, and their hopes of a long season are going by the wayside. They just don't have a quarterback in that franchise, Donnie. At what point would they realize that, especially with John Elway at the helm? What the hell's going on?
I mean, I guess that hits their wagon to Lynch. I mean, that's the only thing. But your hope from all the reading the tea leaves behind the scenes. I mean, it's almost like they're hiding this injury as a chance not to put him in football games. I mean, Simeon is brutal. Brock Osweiler just as brutal. And you have the rookie in a season that's pretty much down the wash. And it just seems like they really don't want to actually bring in Lynch at this point. And I don't understand what the holdup is. A little elbow or shoulder, or he's just not ready yet. Their season is up in flames. And it's a shame because they have the shell of a really good football team just with completely headless at quarterback. And Osweiler was garbage again yesterday. No surprise.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you're 3-7. I mean, you've lost 6 in a row. You're 0-4 on the road. At some point, you got to see what you have there. I mean, that's a mirage. I mean, he's not hurt. I mean, they don't want to give it a shot. And they've only scored 183 points, Donnie. That's third worst in the AFC. So, I mean, they're just not doing enough offensively. We know that. It could be worse, though. They could be the Browns. But, hey, from the quarterback position, they kind of are. So, I don't really you got to be better there. You got to draft better. You got to do better. It's not good enough. How long's the new show? An hour or so. However, though, guys, I'm going to be leaving a little early today. Here in the next 10 minutes or so, I got to go to the doctor today. Unfortunately, it couldn't be avoided. It's at 10:45. Donnie, I know it looks. I'm cutting out here on the first day, but I got to do what I got to do. Unfortunately, it's a tough week to get in there as far as scheduling. So doing what I can do. But Donnie will take you the rest of the way.
Yeah, we'll go.
I'll
Yeah,
be
when
on
Big
for
Man, when Big
yeah.
Man gets out of here, we're going 40 minutes just on the Dallas Cowboys. So stay tuned for that. Me and the Big Man have fun for the next couple of minutes, and it's 40 minutes of destroying the Dallas Cowboys.
Donnie, I want to shout out to the Temple Owls. Big win last night.
Yeah.
They win the Guild
right.
Charleston Classic. What a night for Philadelphia. I mean, Donnie, I know you're not a NASCAR guy, but Martin Truex wins.
New Jersey guy. Yeah, local guy.
Yes,
Yep, sure.
Ocean County. So he wins the NASCAR Monster Energy Series. Eagles win. Temple wins. Great day for the area. Big day. So, yeah, it was nice. Nice to see them get the win. They're 3-0. Fran Dunphy's group's playing well. Donnie, I know you'll be down there with me a couple times this year down at the Leah Course Center. But, we talked a lot about the NFL yesterday, Donnie. Kind of before I jump off, I mean, how about college this week? I mean, I know it was a shitty week, though. I mean, what a brutal week. If you like to watch some of these big schools play games, I mean, there weren't many. I know the Citadel was on, and I know you took umbrage with the Delaware State game getting called early against Florida State. But Donnie, sometimes you gotta call the dogs off. Sometimes the game was over. You can't get those kids injured. They're definitely not on the same level of Florida State University. Florida State finally a big win, 77-6. Donnie, what was your thoughts on that? You didn't seem too happy about that.
Which one? Go ahead, man.
You weren't happy about the fact that they cut the Florida State game early.
Florida State game. Wait, football?
Yes, the
college game. Yeah, I didn't even know. Yeah, no, I mean that's just a joke. That's just I mean, what do you want from college football? They should put a ban on that, or they should just absolutely refund the tickets, or maybe send Florida State into a sanction for Why would that even be a game on the card? Like, why is that even there? I don't even
Uh,
understand why you're
well,
allowed to schedule that low at that point. You can't go pick on a MAC team. I'm sure like Bowling Green would love to come down and play Florida State.
yeah, people. Someone asked me about that. It's not. I don't think it's not any different from doing it in the first week or two of the season. They just decide to backload it at the end. I think it should all be done at the beginning. I don't think it should be done at the end. I mean that you're right. Look, I don't. But I got to tell you, Donnie, I feel like if you're a team like that, you're better faceted to face them late in the year as opposed to the beginning. But I gotta agree. I mean, you got to do that at the beginning of the season. You want to schedule that game, you got to do it at the beginning. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna cut those games short. I actually was on Missouri last year, Donnie, when they played
Mhm.
Delaware State, and they cut the game
Yeah.
early, and my bet didn't count. So yeah, it sucks. But Donnie, where do you want to go? I mean, where do you want to go from here? It's our first day.
Why,
We're
yeah,
just
why,
kind
you
of
know what? Like, yeah, because it's interesting because I guess tomorrow basically is going to be the kickoff of the actual show because we don't have the back and forth banter that we're going to have over the next 30 to 40 minutes when we go on. I'll talk a lot of NFL football. We'll go over some games. We'll take a look at some action this week, setting up the NFL playoffs and do that stuff. But the show is really about recapping what happened the night before, having some fun. Topics in the press that are sports related, where you can go back and forth and have a lot of fun, a lot of differing opinions. That's why this show is going to be so great in the morning. It's not just about, hey, big man, what do you think about tonight's 10:30 Nevada basketball game? That's not really what the game is about. We have all day, and there's a million shows here on sportsbookreview.com that you can tune into and get a ton of picks. This one is more of a recap and setting you up ready to go. We'll give you some picks and plays, and we'll take a look at some big cards out there, but it's more of overall sports lifestyle, which is what we're going to have a lot of fun doing here over the next couple months.
I love the opinions on everything non-NFC East. That's straight up. Well, Johnny, I guess you must be a Cowboys fan, so you must be
Yeah, he got
sad
hurt last
today.
night. Yeah, he
You
got
don't
hurt.
want
He
you don't
did
want
get
to
hurt.
listen.
A
John
couple
Willis,
guys got.
settle down, John Willis. It's,
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk about there. We'll get to college basketball. I don't have any picks early on uh, for anyone. I'm not on these early games. Donnie, it's all about picking and choosing in this business, as they would
Yeah, of
say.
course. Yeah.
And I'm not going to just jump on a game because it's on TV. I don't have any opinion on UMKC in Manhattan. So
Why
um,
not Prairie
we'll get
View
to
today, Jeff? You got Prairie View out there.
Prairie View is playing today, and yes, they are a team that you definitely usually want to bet against. Northern Arizona plays today as well, which is the gift that keeps on giving. So yeah, we'll get to those a little bit later. But Donnie, before we get into the NFL or into
Yeah.
college, you get into college or whatever we're
Yeah.
doing here. Um, do you have any opinion on this Jerry Jones story going forward? What the hell's going to happen here? It seems like it's
I
getting
just
pretty
take the
bad.
yeah. You know what? As a Eagle fan, just I hope he sues the NFL. The one thing I don't want to see happen is them take the franchise because they can't win anything. Salary cap era under Jerry Jones has been a disaster. I hope he sues. Hope he runs it into the ground. I hope it takes up all of his time. Because again, the 5-5 Cowboys, you got a lot of time. You're not worried about football anymore now, right, Jeff? So you can just sue the NFL, take as many trips as you want to New York City because your team is dead and buried. So when you don't have to worry about your football team, you have all the time in the world to sue the NFL. And I hope he does, and I hope it takes up a lot of time and money from him as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Donnie, before I jump off, I'm going to recommend something tonight. I know you'll talk about it. Um, Look at the Seahawks down to a pick 'em. How about that at home?
No,
46 on
yeah,
the total.
Pinnacle now -1. I mean, I would love to give out a free play on that, but I have Atlanta +3. So again, last night, again, I'll probably today give out the Atlanta Falcons again, just like I did last night, Jeff. When we were joking around, like I got 3.5 on the Eagles. Take it at 6.5. I had them winning by 7+ points in that football game. Sometimes points don't matter. I think Atlanta wins outright tonight. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, honestly, I'm getting a terrible number. I could have got the best of it, but we're giving it out 8 hours before the game's going to begin.
yeah.
Give me Atlanta tonight on the road in Seattle. That secondary is junk at this point. Matt Ryan gonna roll, run all over it, throw all over it, do whatever they can do all over it. I don't know, Don, if you saw this morning, the Georgia Dome was blown up. Atlanta Falcons are gonna
Yes.
blow up Seattle tonight. Give me Atlanta as a pick 'em. Donnie, I must jump off. I hate to do it, but
Yeah.
I have to. The fucking
You be listening
doctor's
in the car.
busting my
Yeah,
balls.
tune in the car for the next 40 minutes of the Dallas Cowboys season in review, highlights and lowlights.
Yeah, Blake Kersey, you haven't seen the last of the Cowboys. Yeah, we have. See ya.
Yeah, we
Bye
have.
bye.
Dead and buried. Told you 2 weeks ago. See you. Peace. Get out.
Donnie, as always, great stuff. I'll be listening on the way. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be on breaking it down. I hate to do this. Sucks I have to do it, but it is what it is, Donnie. I'll be back tomorrow with you. Donnie, take us out.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, man, big man will be back tomorrow. And again, we'll be doing this 10 to 11 Monday through Friday, every single week, breaking it down. Great lineup here on sportsbookreview.com. That's setting up. Low Shack in the Bag will come on at 12 o'clock. They'll start their pick frenzy up there. Also in the mid-afternoons, you got sports. But I'm not sure I haven't looked at that. I think it's a live show, I guess, from what it's listing at 1:30 p.m. But then you're going to have Low Shack in the Bag again, 6 o'clock, firing off picks right before tip-off and getting you ready for that. NHL, NBA, they do it all. I mean, they're going to give you every college basketball game, every NBA game, every NHL game, every NFL game, every college football game. And that's what we want, at that time of the day. You want picks. You want to fire them in. You want to see some opinions right before the bell. And certainly have a lot of fun with that. But we can go over a lot of stuff. As you know me, I love the NFL, and I do very well in the NFL. Sort of have my pulse on the game. Once the season gets underway, it's hard. It's always hard to make predictions before the season of who you think is going to be great because you don't have an eyeball in these football teams. You don't even have, a really good idea of where these football teams are at. After about 3 to 4 weeks into the season, you really get a good feel of what is what in the NFL. And case in point was yesterday. I mean, been talking a long time about who's going to be good driving down the stretch. Good football teams win. And you're starting to see a lot of things separate out there. If you have any questions out there, in the chat box that you want to go over NFL action, we can certainly go over that. Big game tonight in football. Also, I love it. Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, you have 3 full games on there. One game really good at noon. I mean, that Minnesota Vikings game and Detroit Lions game is going to settle a lot of stuff there in the NFC. Playoff picture-wise as well. As an Eagle fan, obviously I'm rooting for the Detroit Lions to come up with a victory in that football game. Eagles play the Chicago Bears coming up on Sunday. Then you have the midday game, which is the Dallas Cowboys, and they play every single year at that time slot. Would have been a little bit more exciting if both of these teams were good. I think the Chargers are actually overall a better team now, obviously. We'll see if Tyron Smith comes back in that football game. But that Charger D, now they got Denzel Perryman back, they're a pretty good football team. They should have beat Jacksonville. They laid the wood on Buffalo yesterday. So that's a pretty good football team coming to town. But the one interesting here for us is that when you go over this football game, it's really hard. I mean, we talk about it a lot. That road team on Thursday, going on the road to play football, always in a bad situation at that point. And then the night game, I mean, what are we talking about in that one? Giants and the Redskins? I think I saw that line open up about 7.5, which does seem like a lot of points there because the Redskins got dinged up. And again, that's a tough loss. You go up 15 points in the dome. Your playoff balance is fighting. Maybe you can make a run to end the season, and you end up coughing that football game up in the final 5 minutes and then taking an L in overtime also. I mean, it's so tough to come back from stuff like that. But just recapping, I know, Big Man, we weren't able to go over a lot of the NFL stuff yesterday to try to take a look at things. Detroit, Chicago, nice game. Detroit does what they do. Got down early in that football game. It's going to be close. Matthew Stafford's going to keep you close in every single ball game. A terrible kick to end the game, which gave the Detroit Lions still that glimmer of playoff hope fighting. And they're going to have that monster game on Thursday when they take on the Minnesota Vikings and have a good game with that. Also, you're taking a look at the Giants and Kansas City. The one game I did lose yesterday, and it's, when you fire on games early to get games that, you think you're going to be advantageous and you think they're going to have a better point spread, you want to jump on that because winning the battle of the line is, the name of the game in the most part. Fired on a 44 over-under in that Giants game. Got up to 46.5 as the week went on. Dipped down on game day to 44.5, 45, depending where you're getting at. Those wins were so damn bad. I mean, those wins were so damn bad on Sunday when you take a look at that football game. It had no shot to go over the total. So it was the one game that was missed. But again, when you take a step back and look at it, was it the right play to begin with? Probably not, but would have liked to seen it played out in a little bit better conditions and not a bonehead start to the football game where Ben McAdoo's throwing halfback passes from the 18-yard line. That's always going to be a tough one there. If you keep it moving down the list, 455, 456, another bad game and another free cover at the end of the football game. If you had the total in that game, 20-13 with like 3 minutes to go, game ends up going over the total. Actually, 43 points after the field goal, and then you had that lateral going back and forth, ending up in the end zone, which was a key turning point in that. So if the game closed at 43.5, 44, they hit that over-under. Game wasn't really in balance from a point spread perspective since it closed at like 1 or 2 at that point, but that was a bad one. Also, we need to want to take a look at getting back in the playoff picture. AFC a little bit down compared to the NFC in this instance. You're going to take a look overall at Baltimore and Green Bay yesterday. One of the plays, I went 4-0 on the closing line yesterday, giving out plays. One of those plays early was the Baltimore Ravens. Thought they'd be a little bit more healthy. The only reason why I didn't really level the boom on that game is because Rodney Stanley was out, the left tackle, franchise left tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. But overall, they're just a better football team right now. I mean, Brett Hundley, he's an okay quarterback, but it's amazing how much one single player does to a franchise the way that Aaron Rodgers does with the Green Bay Packers. I mean, being able to make those wide receivers get open. The back shoulder fade from Aaron Rodgers, that's a Hall of Fame throw. It doesn't matter if wide receivers are covered. As long as they're used to getting that pass, you can make plays on that. And Brett Hundley just doesn't do that. Although the week before, he did make one of those really nice passes against the Chicago Bears late in the game. So that was an interesting one the week before. But again, Baltimore's a better football team. 23-0. Did I see a shutout coming from Baltimore? No, I didn't. But now they're going to step back up in the AFC, and certainly with Brett Hundley moving forward, Green Bay Packers. I don't know. Do you even have to bring back at this point Aaron Rodgers? I mean, I know he's chomping at the bit to come back and do all that stuff, but we'll see what happens there. Jansen Bonzone, recapping the bad bets you made is like rubbing salt in the wood. Didn't make very bad bets. I don't make many bad bets in the NFL on that one. 4-0 in the closing line, 2-1 on premium plays. Not too bad of a day yesterday there, but it was a bad bet on the New York Giants game. I mean, Kansas City, I don't know what to expect. Alex Smith, we can get on him. We can rail upon Alex Smith all we want. He's just that run-of-the-mill quarterback. I mean, 5-0, MVP of the football league. Alex Smith is Alex Smith, man. He wants to throw a 3-yard out to a running back repeatedly in football games. That's what he does. The Giants were dead coming into that football game, and the Giants, honestly, were the better team in that football game. Eli Manning makes that one nice throw to the wide receiver late in the football game, the kid out of Bowling Green, who was originally the Ohio State transfer. Name's escaping me right now. But that was a really nice play on fourth down, the smart play, because it got the flag even if he didn't catch the pass. Ended up kicking and winning on the field goal there as well. Big game yesterday, which is the one I was most excited for. I was actually surprised that the Los Angeles Rams yesterday didn't move up and get that W. 24-7, leaning on Minnesota at home. They're a tough football team at home. Damn, they play really good defense. Mike Zimmer, an unbelievable defensive coordinator, gets them up, as you've seen over the past couple of years with him. That's a really nice win. And again, if you saw the shows from a couple weeks back, building up, I didn't think Case Keenum was that bad of a quarterback. Rode him to that Tampa Bay win that they had at home in his very first start, coming off of the Pittsburgh Steelers game when he had that full week to review and, get ready to play a football game. They're good. They play defense. They have some offensive tools. And the one interesting thing, man, what they could have been if they didn't have Dalvin Cook, or they had Dalvin Cook back in that situation, would have been really, really exciting to see that overall. But again, they're going to be a factor, and they have a huge game coming up against the Detroit Lions. It's not easy to go in to play Detroit. I mean, Thanksgiving, if you want to look back and you're one of those stats or trends guys and you go back and you say, you know what, if we take a look at the Detroit Lions and you say, you know what, they're awful on Thanksgiving. Well, they did have some awful football teams for like 20 years. You got to throw that out the window. This Detroit Lions team is a pretty good football team, and they're playing at home. And also, the Minnesota Vikings got really up saying, you know what, this is a playoff-type atmosphere here at home. Let's get this win. They won it. They won it comfortably. Now you have that fast turnaround. There's no decompression time in that. Like, you won last night. Maybe you celebrated. Maybe you got after it. But, I mean, that's a really, really good football game coming up Thursday. Take a little bit of a sip from water. Take a look at the chat box out there to see what's going on there. Big man wants to kiss Grayson Allen. Yeah, he likes college basketball. I mean, that's certainly what he does out there. Ian Cameron, obviously, Belichick, and others real good too. But given what Zim has to work with, especially on the offense, he's done a phenomenal job. They were really good yesterday also. Take a look here. Say 10. What's that? Barber, what would you do, Donnie? Give me the Mark Davis. Yeah, that's what. Hey, Mark Davis got a great haircut, man. Billionaires can do that out there, certainly, and work with. Let's see what else we got. A jive, man. Brady is going to get one more before he retires. They look good, man. If you want to take a look at that football game, 471, 472, 33-8 final, New England and Oakland. I mean, that was certainly a pretty sensational game. Right, up and down, up and down. Earlier today, we were looking also in the chat box, behind the scenes, trying to get somebody to come on the air with us today to talk a little bit about the formatting coming up in the section to see what we can actually do and what we're going to go down with Sportsbook review and all those things. I do want to bring up a couple things. We'll get back to talking some NFL football here in just a second. I'm going to try to bring up some stuff here on Twitter while I have the time where we can set up these shows and set up these highlights, see what we have here. Let's take a look here. I'll just keep on cruising the chat box while that finds out. Will LG, what's up, Donnie? Best time? What's that? What's up, Donnie? Best time of the morning. Love your picks. Yeah, we have a good time in the NFL. You know what I mean? When the big man comes back, we'll enjoy it the rest of the week. We'll have a lot of fun here. Let's bring up the SBR website here. If you guys haven't checked it out as well, check out SBRodds.com. Also, give us a follow at SBR Sports Picks and also on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Get the likes there, certainly, to be able to keep it going and keep it more informed. DP13, morning, fellas. Hey, man, good morning to you as well. Let's see what we got here. Just trying to roll through. If you go to sportsbookreview.com or, at SBR Sports Picks, you can find it 10 a.m. right side of campus. 12 o'clock Low Shack in the bag, also 1:30 Sports Bet. You also have the Bankroll weekly kickoff at 3 o'clock, 6 p.m. with Low Shack in the bag, and then 10 o'clock. You know Gabe's going to bring the heat at night there at 10 p.m. and have a lot of fun. But that's also an interesting stuff there for us and having a lot of fun. But let's go. Let's keep it right down the list here. Let's have some fun. Let's see what we got here. Where can we go? Anybody have any questions on any NFL action that's going to be coming up this weekend and see what we got? Y'all can certainly let me have that, but I can certainly go over a couple things as well. Let's go over. Let's see. How about the Buffalo Bills yesterday in the Los Angeles Chargers? Taking a look at that football game over under, one of the easier games that I had of the day. I was on the San Diego Chargers. Got in early at -4, -115. Was sort of picking off the fact early in the week that I did think that Philip Rivers was going to play in that football game. In the minute that they went from Tyrod Taylor to Peterman as the rookie backup, I thought that was a pretty easy spot, 54-24. Didn't see 5 interceptions from the young kid, but hey, you're always going to live off that in the NFL, and you'll certainly take that right side when it does present itself. 37-7, I believe that game was at the half or just after the half. That was a nice, easy cruise moment. I think the Chargers are a good football team, man. They just lose in so many freak ways every single year. Philip Rivers played a good football game. They got 3 good wide receivers, and Austin Eckler now coming, backing up, Melvin Gordon is a really good quarterback in there. So, really good running back here that's going to be able to handle the Chargers down the stretch. Can they make a run in the playoffs? Can they do it? Or are we just going to see like on Thanksgiving Day when the Chargers roll into town versus the Dallas Cowboys and really struggle out there and have a tough time? So we'll see. I would be leaning Chargers at this point, but again, it's so hard to win away games on the in the NFL on Thursday. So it's always kind of interesting. Cody A.V. Donnie, can we talk Thanksgiving games? Chargers -3.5 in the Cowgirls. Is that what the line is? I thought it was around a pick 'em when I got that. Let's see what we got here. We'll talk a little day. 101, 109, 110, Rivers, Prescott. And that looks like I have CG Technologies is showing a -3 in the favor of the Dallas Cowboys. It must be an error, but I'm getting pretty much a pick 'em everywhere that we're looking here across the board and what's taking place in this spot. So, I mean, do you want Dallas? I mean, with their season over, I mean, are they playing hard? I mean, I guess it's Thanksgiving and you get up for it, but you really stacked all your chips and put them into the middle of the table when you played the Philadelphia Eagles. So, I mean, when you take a look overall, is that a really good football team that's going to take the place against the Chargers? Maybe you get some help back with Tyron Smith, but that's a pretty good defensive, front seven from the Chargers that's going to be coming after him, veteran quarterback as well. So we'll certainly see what happens in that spot. Eric Sweetek, Tricky Action Week this week. I like Ohio -3.5 at Buffalo the most. Take a look there for us. We'll switch back and forth, go over whatever you guys want to talk about here. 3 action games going to take place here tomorrow. Kent, Akron, Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan, Miami, Ohio, and Ball State. 3 interesting games. They're all double-digit lines. It's Maction. So, I mean, what honestly can we actually do with Maction at this point? You're going to have Kent, Akron. The one interesting thing is Akron wins this football game, folks, over Kent. They're going to head to the MAC title game in Detroit, and they look damn good. They look even better with their backup quarterback there than they actually do with their starting quarterback, Thomas Woodson. But that's lined at -15 right now. You want to step in front of Akron playing good football like that now in a brand new, element, I would say, covering 2 touchdowns at this point. It's kind of interesting in that football game. Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan, another heavy line. Chris opened up at 15, now backtracked to 13, 103-104 in that football game. Eastern Michigan, we know they're going to bring the defense there. Bowling Green's going to give you some offense, but can they play defense? Maybe some points in that one, even though Eastern Michigan technically doesn't like to score and score a lot. We did see them score against Ball State, so, I mean, everybody really scores against Ball State in that one. 105-106, and as we bring up Ball State, it's a nice segue to come in there. Miami of Ohio, 105-106. Versus Ball State. That one, 18.5 it opens up at. Looks like BetOnline sitting at -18 for the road team, Miami of Ohio. So another interesting one that we check into that football game as well. And then you have the Egg Bowl, which is year in, year out. Mississippi State doesn't really mean too much. Then again, when does it ever mean that much, that Mississippi State game? I think everybody's waiting on the weekend for the Iron Bowl to get back in it. Cody AV, but I love the Chargers +3.5, and that line will change fast. Is that even a real line, though? That's the question. Cody, is that even a real line at this point when you take a look at the Chargers getting 3.5? I mean, I don't know if maybe it's one of those stale lines or lines they put out that wasn't actually right and it's just coming through as a wrong feed error for me. But if you guys see something else out there, primarily I'm looking at -1s to pick them, I think, to even ask if that's even what it's about out there. Dean Lawler's, New England's defense is finally, yeah, they are. Matt Patricia's got them going. That early season funk, which just seems like they couldn't get out of the way. Losing Hightower as the middle linebacker there, it doesn't seem to hurt them. But then again, the Oakland Raiders, I mean, what are they actually, doing at this point? Andrew Dree, Egg Bowl, eat your breaky. Okay. Justin Searcy, the Egg Bowl is always fun. I mean, I guess it's always fun. It's gambling. it's going to be a singular college football game on, so I guess it is gambling, but a little bit more interested in the NFL games that are going to take place on Thanksgiving Day and have a lot of fun with that also. Taking a look here as well. And, my partner in crime there, I mean, you want to go to college basketball, you want college basketball winners. Big Man does that really, really well. And I dip into it. You know me, my betting style. I like to take a couple months off to see where these teams are actually at and getting into conference play. Same thing I do in college football. Same thing I do in the NFL. I'm more of a look-see guy. I want to get a feel for the team. Then they'll let the stats tell the real story about that. But the Big Man on campus, I mean, just beast mode in college basketball. And we'll have a lot of that stuff going on the right side of campus here, breakfast edition, Monday through Friday, recapping and going over a ton of that stuff. But NFL action looking up this weekend. The haves and the have-nots, NFC race tightening up in that instance. What's going to happen in Buffalo this weekend coming? I mean, it already actually, it looks like I have a listed start of Tyrod Taylor. So is that Peterman experiment already done there? Could be interesting there. Will LG, yo, Donnie, won 500 on the Eagles, bro. Yeah, it was pretty easy. It was a pretty easy football game. I think we all had that one pretty much pegged and the line moving in the right direction. I know a lot of people are on the Philadelphia Eagles, 80% of the tickets or so coming in on the Philadelphia Eagles. But that line told you everything you needed to know, opening up at 3.5, and closing around 6.5 by game time. Eagles were the better football team in this instance. I don't think anybody's really arguing that too much. I thought the Dallas Cowboys would be able to put up a better fight in the second half. But again, whenever the Dallas Cowboys folks don't have Sean Lee, they're unbettable. They're completely unbettable. They're unmanned in the middle, losing the quarterback of their defense. Tyron Smith coming back is going to help them a little bit. But again, you just don't have that explosive running back of Ezekiel Elliott that you really, really have to worry about there. Mr. Satan said, I missed the Eagles recap. I'd be more than happy to spend the next 15, 20 minutes going over the Eagles recap yesterday and have a lot of fun with that. Guan White, do you go to the in-laws or your family's house for Thanksgiving? We are cooking the past couple years. Wife putting on a nice little display. Family comes over. And the good part is got my little man cave I can always retreat to when everybody gets a little bit out of hand. I remember a couple years ago, Eagles played the Cowboys and beat them up pretty good on Thanksgiving Day. That was a lot of fun to watch. But overall, I'm just going to be sitting back. It's a day where, you just gorge on food. Drink as much Crown Royal as you can, bet on some football, have a lot of fun, and meet around with the family members. So certainly is a lot of fun. Cody AV, it is done. Tyrod came in the second half, scored fucking 19 fantasy points. Yeah, he was running read option down 40 points in that football game. I did think that was really interesting watching that over the way. And Jansen Mazone, please no more Eagles recap. I know it's hard, man. When you're the best team in the NFL, you're going to have to pay attention to them, Especially when you called it. When we said it all last week, like, hey, we're going to take a lot of heat, me and the big man, especially me, if the Dallas Cowboys come on here Sunday night and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't see it happening, but, at halftime, a little bit shaky at that point. You lost your kicker. What's going to take place? The better team won. I mean, the Eagles went in, made adjustments. Cowboys didn't make any adjustments. Jason Garrett, terrible head coach. Always hear all the hype on how good Linehan is as an offensive coordinator. Oh, man, that Rob Marinelli out there, boy, he's real good. Yeah, he's really good out there. Without Sean Lee, doesn't look like he's too good out there. So it's a lot of fun to watch that football game from an Eagles perspective. Had a lot of fun yesterday on Twitter, just retweeting and doing a lot of recaps on stuff like that. So always good. Yeah, it's smart to have it at your house, especially when you don't cook or really do the dishes. So you can tie one on, you can drink some Crown Royal, you can drink some vodka, you can relax and have a lot of fun in that instance. You're right about that. You don't have to drive home or do anything like that. Matthew Varnum, Donnie, who won the fantasy contest? You or Jeff? You know what? I didn't even check into that. But I told you, if the Eagles were going to win that football game, I'd be a happy sacrificial lamb to lose that. I'm going to assume that Big Man did with that. I think he had Carson Wentz in that football game who had a decent game, and one of my players, I believe, was the Eagles kicker. That's how much in tune I am on my fantasy football team. He went out early and got a nice, probably a negative point since he missed a field goal. Redskins line down a -7 Thursday night seems off. Yeah, it does seem off. It's one of those games where Washington had everything to lose in that football game or could have propelled their season and took an awful, horrific beat in overtime. Now coming home. What are you going to get out of the New York Giants, though? I mean, now going on the road, are they feeling good now? Is there a lot of, good feelings out there to see what's taking place? I mean, they have 2 wins on the season. I'm actually hoping that the Giants do win this football game. Nothing would be better to me than have the Giants slip from, that top 5 draft slot down to a 5 to 10 or even worse. So maybe a couple shots on that. You can do that. Steven says, Donnie has been waiting for this moment for years to trash the Cowboys. No, we beat the Cowboys on the regular. You know what I mean? It's fun to beat the Cowboys. Giants really are more of our adversaries, to say, in the Northeast. Giants usually, we pound the Giants too. We beat a lot up on the NFC East over the past 15, 20 years. So, it is what it is. But I take glee in that because sometimes, a lot of misguided stuff out there with the Dallas Cowboys, how good they are. And that they won like 60 years ago when you can just pay for a football team, moving into the salary cap era. They're basically non-existent as a franchise, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it is. I mean, it's certainly a lot of fun. Steven says Eagle fans are trashy. Yeah, we're really trashy. You know, we always come out to support the football team, and you saw it last night, just smashing them. It's hard, but to be honest with you, I mean, really, if you're a Dallas Cowboy, when you wake up this morning, let's just say you roll out of bed, sun's up, you flip on the TV, and then you just remember like last night and you say, damn, they got the better head coach, got the better quarterback, and this quarterback's going to kill us for like 15 years. Got the better team. They're number one in the NFL right now. Just ended our playoff hopes. Like, if you're a Cowboys fan, like what do you do the rest of the year? Like, you know, do you just like, you know, hang out? You know, do you just, you know, hey, it's Sunday. I don't know, maybe, you know, because most Cowboy fans aren't actually from Texas. So maybe you just glom on. Maybe you just slide on that hat like, hey, man, Golden State Warriors tonight, baby. Or maybe you say, you know, damn, always love Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady is that dude. Is that what you do? I mean, that's what most Cowboy fans do. Most are from out of the state, you know. Hey, Donnie, Eagles have never won any Super Bowls. Yeah, you know, it would be funny if they changed right now the Super Bowl over to the World Championship of Football. And the Eagles won a World Championship of Football this year. And then you could say, hey, man, Cowboys never won a World Championship of Football. That's all in the name. So, I mean, and again, I'm having fun out here. I love it. I mean, I talked smack for 2 weeks to every Dallas Cowboy fan I could because, again, they're dead and buried when they lose Zeke. It's the same thing that we were talking about with the Arizona Cardinals, folks. It ain't going to matter when they lose their running back. Come on, man. It matters, man. When you lose your really good football players, you're just not as good. Steven, I'm from North Texas, 45 minutes from Cowboy Stadium. Awesome, man. Fantastic. That's great. Is that near Denton at all? You anywhere near the Mean Green out there in North Texas? That team's looking good. Maybe you can, you know, throw on the North Texas hat this week and say, you know what? They're headed to the conference final. We'll have some fun with that team, man. It's always a lot of fun, though. I mean, I love talking NFL. I could talk NFL till I'm blue in the face. I could talk NFC East football, any football you want. But heading down the stretch, it's going to be tough. The one team I didn't want to say is the Seattle Seahawks. Legion of Boom right now, you know, devastated. You know, a lot of injuries in that back end. They're pretty much going to fall off the wagon. Looks like, you know, coming down the stretch. I mean, I'm still waiting on Minnesota. I like Minnesota's football team. I mean, you can always lean on the defense, and I just hope they don't mess with Case Keenum because that is a really good football team. Saints going to be a good football team as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, heading down. And again, a lot of injuries are still going to take place here. You know, Wentz could go down. Case Keenum could go down. You know, Aaron Rodgers could come back and somehow a miracle that the Green Bay Packers could make the playoffs. A lot of fun stuff's going to take place in the NFL over the next couple weeks. Let's take a look at tonight's football game here for us. 475, 476, Atlanta and the Seattle Seahawks here, folks. About 20,000 tickets have been registered. 56% actually coming in on the Atlanta Falcons here, and the line completely swung. I got +3, -120 last week when you started seeing some of the information filtering down with this Atlanta-Seattle game. I mean, let's take a look at from a betting perspective. You're going to have no Richard Sherman, who's, you know, one of the better guys. You want to line up on Julio Jones, big, tall, physical cornerback, 6'3", that could battle Julio Jones. You'd have Cam Chancellor, you know, that big muscle man, Savage back there at safety, paired up with Earl Thomas, you know, one of the best safety combinations, not only, you know, this year, last year, but over the past 15 to 20 years. There's no denying that the Legion of Boom was a legitimate force. Now you're down Richard Sherman. Now you're down Cam Chancellor. And again, you're talking about a hamstring injury for a guy that likes to run side to side in Earl Thomas. He's a really good football player, and that's going to hamper him as well. So you're talking about 2 of the 4 guys automatically being out, with the third, who might be the most important guy, you know, maybe running around saying, you know, can I really get side to side? Can I really stretch out the field? Can I really get after it there? That's 3 of the 4 down, and you have an average cornerback that's going to start on the opposite side. You lost Cliff Averill, your top pass rusher. Michael Bennett nicked up. He's going to play tonight, but he does have a heel injury. Just not the same overall defense that you will be getting in Seattle. And the one thing that I do like also, if you're putting from a betting perspective on the Atlanta Falcons tonight, folks, traveling coast to coast, they've been there, done that. They should have won that football game last year. They went down 26-24 when the Seattle Seahawks were a little bit more healthy as a football team last year, with that phantom, I shouldn't say phantom, it was a pass interference call on Richard Sherman late in the game over the middle on Julio Jones, that head coach of the Atlanta Falcons almost blew a gasket and had every single right to blow a gasket on that play because it should have been called and they should have won the football game. Then they head down to the Georgia Dome last year and just blow the doors off the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, Atlanta was on a mission last year, right up to the Super Bowl where they get up 28-3 at that point. But if you take a look tonight heading in there, Seattle's a good football team. It's hard to beat Seattle in Seattle. We get that. But that line movement tells you a lot right there. Pinnacle reestablishes a -1 now as a favorite for the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Falcons can do enough from an offensive perspective to move the football, especially in Seattle. Matt Ryan's been there, done that. He's not going to be scared. He played there last year. A veteran guy, loud noises and all that stuff. He's not going to fall for any of that, fake stuff out there. One thing that will hurt him, sure, Devontae Freeman not going to play in this football game, but a very good, capable running back in Tevin Coleman who's going to be able to hit the shift, and be that speed back, maybe to bust a play or two out of the backfield, good catching passes out of the backfield. And again, Julio Jones, who's going to match up now? Like, who's going to match up with Julio Jones? He's always going to present mismatches, but the one secondary you figure that could handle the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver would be the Seattle Legion of Boom, and they're banged up as well. And let's not even talk about the offensive line. Still to be determined today whether or not left tackle Dwayne Brown is going to play in this football game. So if you take a look last week when the Dallas Cowboys came to town versus the Atlanta Falcons to play them, one of the key mismatches in that game was that they have a really fast pass rush, the Atlanta Falcons. So if you have a tackle, similar to Tyron Smith being out, you're going to get a backup there at left tackle. They should be able to exploit that because that fast pass rush in Seattle on that turf. And again, you're playing the same type of quarterback in a way. Russell Wilson's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott's going to make more plays out of the pocket and being mobile, moving around. It's just what he does. But you're going to have that same heat and type of pressure on the quarterback that maybe you're going to make a mistake or two, or you're going to get a big sack or two just coming after him with heat. And obviously with Atlanta knowing full well that whole Pete Carroll staff up there, it should be a good football game. And I'm not going to be surprised if Atlanta wins this game. I like the +3, but I do think Atlanta can win this game straight up and outright here. So should be a good time to go over that. But I know I talked to a couple people out there in agreement there, but I can't fault you. Like we always say, let's make the case. Let's bet some football. Let's see what happens here. If you take a look at that game overall and you say, Donnie, look, man, Seattle's basically to pick them at home. Russell Wilson's healthy at quarterback, and that's all I need. I get it. Like I can understand that point of reference there. I know how good Seattle's been over the years. And as long as Russell Wilson is standing there and Pete Carroll's on the sideline and that crowd is, screaming left and right out there, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting football game. But I do think Atlanta's going to get the nod in this game. I think Atlanta's going to win this game outright. As I said, I took them at the +3. But again, if you're going to get a pick 'em there, I do think Atlanta's going to win this game outright as well. DP13, what's the Russ prop for the rush yards on? I think it'll be scrambling full time. Yeah, he's going to be scrambling a lot. I actually didn't see any. I'm not a big prop guy overall in the NFL. But one would think that with a pass rush that's coming after you, yes, he is going to be scrambling and making some plays. Can't be too high, though. What do I usually put maybe for a quarterback, even a running quarterback, like maybe 20 yards or something like that? Long field goal prop, Cody. I don't do the long field goal props, but it's usually pretty much standard in the NFL, somewhere around that 44.5, 45.5. So you would lean on that being over just because the way how good NFL kickers are. And also, you always want to look at, weather and weather conditions in this type of games. Going to Seattle, you usually get that misty, rainy, it's heading into December, so you get a real cold night. Going to be in that mid-40s range, light wind, not much precipitation expected for this football game. So it should be a really, really good one on this. So, we'll have some fun and see what happens in that game. Over, under in this one. So it looks like it's rising a little bit. Opened up at 45, now sitting at 46. If I were to take a play on this football game, knowing both of these teams, I know the secondary's banged up for Seattle in this instance, and I know Atlanta can move the football, but 46 seems about right. Anything below, me, folks, anything below 44, 43, 42, I'm already looking to bang the over. But this one seems like it has the chance, even though it is a primetime game and, Monday Night Football, and they all do that. I think that can stay under the total of the 46. See, maybe a little bit more defensive struggle just because the team that doesn't want to make – and again, this is a playoff game for us. Atlanta needs to win this football game. Atlanta loses this football game, it's pretty much lights out on their season as well. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. It's like you're in playoff mode each and every week, which I think is a big deterrent – a big hindrance there is why Seattle opens up at that -3. And now you see that buyback on Atlanta because it's a real important game for the Falcons. As I take a look right now, the Greek now showing a -1 in the favor of the Atlanta Falcons. So that one should be a decent football game. Cody B, thanks. Yeah, I just don't do that many props, so it's kind of tough to get after there. Camarada Mendoza, I doubt they can give out that kind of information. Guys, not professional to tell people's business. Things go on in I'm not privy to information. I'm an employee of sportsbookreview.com. I'm not privy to information that goes back and forth, why something happens. And people reach out to me on Twitter, DMs all the time. Hey, what's going on there? I honestly don't know. And if we did know, we would tell you about it because, the big man technically do have some big mouths here coming across the wire and doing shows each and every day out there. But honestly, I don't have any information. I'm not privy to any information on that. And People can read the tea leaves or guess and do what they want, but when you don't have an exact answer, it's not in my place to just send out there like, hey, so-and-so's here, so-and-so's here, is not here. Why are they leaving? Where are they going? It's up to those people individually. If they want to talk and tell their side of the story, they can certainly do that, but that's just what it is here. So again, just to recap a couple things on the week. Big man's going to be, he's been going for about maybe 20, 30 minutes at this point, checking up in the doctors. We'll have a lot of fun on the show. It was exciting when they brought the concept to us here to go to a morning show, sort of waking up, rehashing, setting you forward, going over some games, not a huge show that we're going to just be giving out picks left and right. You can find us on Twitter all day long. We give out opinions left and right, free, paid, whatever you want. You'll see us quite a bit here on Sportsbook Review, doing videos, giving out free plays as well. Big Man does the bet buffet as well with Drew. You can also see us on the round table, more of that look ahead. Me, Ian, Drew, and the Big Man do a great job on that. You also obviously have Low Shack in the bag. It's going to be on at 6 o'clock, also going to be on at 12 o'clock. They're going to go over a ton of picks. And then, of course, on the weekend when you get there, Big Man and Peter Loshak always come on 11 a.m. to set you up for college football weekend. They're giving a ton of free picks. And then on Sundays, man, one of my favorite days of the week, I love the NFL. Come on with Gabe to do the closing line at 12 noon. Then me and Gabe come back on at halftime around 2:15, 2:20 Eastern, and give out a lot of plays there at halftime. Also, me and the Big Man come on late at night, 7:30, to set you up for that football game, and then that betcast right through. It's been real popular. We talked a lot about, what are we going to do in the football season, setting up Saturdays and Sundays, because in the past, we just only had the one show at Sportsbook Review, which was 11 a.m. Saturday Sit Down with the Big Man, which is a very popular show. Did it all through college basketball season, had a lot of fun giving winners. But NFL or Sunday was just that dead day. Like, there wasn't much going on at the site, and really revamped it up. And it's a lot of credit to you guys there for chiming in, supporting us, getting in the live chat box, giving us feedback on that stuff, and having a lot of fun with it. So, really good things are in turn. That whole new profile. It's always nice when you get a new shake up there. The Big Man will come in the morning, Low Shack right after it, and again, sports bet. There's a lot of stuff going on here at sportsbookreview.com that you can be interested in. Always a lot of giveaways, always a lot of contests there. You can check out the forums, get in there, mix it up with some of the forum guys. You can also always, as I said, come in with the live chat box. You can come in on Twitter. I'm always accessible on Twitter. I love the bus stops. I love to be sarcastic. I love to talk football, and I love to live bet games. You see a lot of people on Twitter, they go cold during the day, like, hey, buy my pick, or I really like this football game. If you see me on Twitter, I'm really active. What do I have, like 60,000 tweets? Like, if there's a football game going on, I want to be invested, and I want to talk to the public out there. It's just what we do here. It's what we reach out to the public and have a lot of fun, and that's why the chat box goes so well with us here at Sportsbook Review. One of the few companies that goes out and puts on a live show on YouTube where you can reach out and touch the host out here. We're the same as you, come on. I'm not a billionaire living out in Las Vegas where I'm just hanging out with some elites. I want to hang out with the common folks because I'm common folks, man. That's what we do and have a lot of fun with. DJ One Mike, I like the 6 p.m. show rotation of guests. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. It's going to change up a little bit on this one, with the good thing about it, because when you come up to game time, most people are just deciding maybe they want that little push over the edge. Low Shack in the back are going to do that for you. At 6 o'clock, they're going to go over probably 50 games in a half an hour and just rifle through that stuff. Now that the lines have settled in and getting it ready to go. I love doing the closing line. It was a fun show. Each and every guest, settled on. Monday was Pete. Tuesday was Big Man on Campus. Wednesday was Ian. Thursday was Teddy Covers. Talked a lot of football on that show. And then Friday with Drew Martin. So it's always shuffling around and been fun. Steven, it's been a fun show, Donnie. I was only salty about the Cowboys because what you're saying about the fight. Yeah, if you know me, Steven, you have to take everything I have with a grain of salt. I love being sarcastic. I love the back and forth. And I don't try to get disrespectful with anybody. There's no reason to get disrespectful. But I am an Eagles fan. I like to poke fun, at the Dallas Cowboys. We don't have any Super Bowls. I get it. We don't. That's all we heard of, for the past, since I've been alive. And if the Eagles ever win a Super Bowl, I don't know what I would look forward to the next day. So it's almost kind of fun where if you were in that Chicago Cubs mold or that Boston Red Sox mold for so long and you never win anything, what do you do when you actually win it? It's almost the chase is more fun than the actual prize itself. So small thrill. Good job going mostly solely on the air today, Don. Yeah. It's what we do. I can talk and I love football. James Stacy, no Donnie on closing line. What the F? That's not good. All those winners. I'll always be available. James, you hit me up on Twitter all the time. If I have an opinion on a football game, I'm going to give my opinion on that football game. I'm still going to be around a ton on here. I'm going to be doing videos in the afternoon, maybe giving you a play of the night. We had a really good run on the closing line over the past couple weeks, giving out winners on Mac football and whatever we were dipping back into. Great day over the weekend. The closing line on Sunday, getting ready for NFL Edition, has been awesome. Awesome. Gabe's been giving out, auto bets every single week on hitting some of these props, like the over field goal total. It's been a lot of fun to do, but that show's going nowhere. We're going to be here Sunday. I'll be doing 3 shows every single Sunday as well. Jansen, Donnie, you should be on Friday Night Tykes. Yeah, I should be. I would like. coaching football, I mean, I played football my entire life. I love talking the game. I love the schematics of the football game. I just love all that stuff. Should be a lot of fun. Mr. Satan, Donnie in the bag would be hilarious. Cody AV, well, Conrado, good knee. Kyle Hamburg, bullshit, Donnie. It's bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. Come on, man. It's more time for me to win money. I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm not moving. Like, this was a concept that we brought up, which we thought would really be a lot of fun to do. And in SBR, we shake things up all the time. Like, you're going to see different time slots for different people all over the network. You know what I mean? I mean, you're going to see low shot. You're going to love that. I'm telling you, you're going to love that format. You're going to get all those picks. You're going to wake up with me and the big man. You're going to get pounded with picks at noon. You're going to get that good all-encompassing information throughout the afternoon with soccer shows. Sportsbit's going to be on the air. And then Peter Loshak and the bag are going to come on at 6 o'clock and set you up for kickoff, set you up for first tip, set you up for puck drop, ball going up in the air. This is exactly the format that you guys should love, and it's going to be a lot of fun doing it. And again, Saturdays and Sundays, we're going to have full, complete coverage of everything as well. A lot of fun. Armin, yeah, Donnie, respect on the way you carry yourself. I appreciate it, man. I like to have fun with sports. Do I like to poke fun and put the wreath up for the Dallas Cowboys? Yeah, but I was prepared. If the Eagles would have lost that football game, I wasn't going to say I was sick or not coming on or, doing this or that. I mean, hey, I'm here. I'm here every single day, and I'm wrong on a lot of stuff. You hear me say it. What was I wrong on before the season, folks? The Los Angeles Rams. I yelled at Big Man and said, the Rams are going to win 3 games. The Rams will win 3 games, Big Man. You're an idiot. You're an idiot, Big Man. I was wrong, and I paid him on my wager already because I was wrong, and I'm going to be wrong on a ton of more things down the line. I just was glad I was not wrong with the Dallas Cowboys not making the playoffs anymore. Slew, no more Teddy. The bag went to jail, and Cynthia is missing. What is going on at SBR? Dang, look at that. What is it, some inside information there? I think we should preach on that. I want to see that there. Let's see what else at Lawrence Sturchill. I did get triggered early. I do like Donnie. We all get triggered, Steve. That's the fun of it. You see me when I come on the air. I mean, Big Man gets triggered all the time and be surly. I get surly. We all get surly. It's all good. As long as we have fun, win some money, come on and do a good product that people like, we can always have a lot of fun with that. So we'll see what happens here. But only a couple more minutes left in the show. Again, the first edition of Waking Up on the Right Side here, me and the Big Man. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this. Again, folks, if you haven't done so yet, if you like the content, it's completely free at sportsbookreview.com. Support us in everything we do because we're only here because we love sports and want to try to bring you a little bit more winners and maybe put you on the right side there. SBRodds.com, an unbelievable service, folks. Go there. It's completely free. You want to see the line moves all in real time, completely free. You don't have to pay a dime for it. SBRodds.com. Also, go on Twitter at SBR Sports Picks. We're always retweeting good information back and forth. It's a great account that a lot of people at SBR have access to. So usually when you tweet back at them, they're always going to come back with a nice witty response or give you the information that we may be able to help. And also on YouTube, the most important thing where we bring these highlights and everything to you. Hit that subscribe button down there. Get the notification. When me and the Big Man go live, pops right up. Hit the chat box. When Loshak and the bag go live, it goes right to the chat box there. Get the notifications. Sportsbit, any new content that comes up that is live on YouTube, you can get the notification. Come and say hello. Maybe yell at us as well and have that much time. So it's been a lot of fun to do the show. There's big things planned at Sportsbook Review heading down the stretch. And the one other thing I always want to say is the best way to support the cause, which I do as well. I'm an employee, but the best way to support the cause, go to sportsbookreview.com if you're looking for a book. If you're looking to make money, get down. I use a betonline.ag account that I signed up directly through sportsbookreview.com. Got a great bonus on that site. It's the best way to support us and our content, and this is what we're here for. Not to say we're fighting for the little man, because that's not the point here. If you have a problem with a sports book, reach out to us. We here protect it. You're going to rate the sports books. You're going to see where all the best bonuses in the entire business are. If you say, I don't like this bonus, go to another one. They have a different bonus up there, different sign up. Who's paying out the fastest? This is what we do. It's the best way to support us. We can keep every single thing of this content free as long as possible. Wash my hand, I'll wash yours. Wash your back, I'll wash yours. It's the same way here. I do want to appreciate it. The very first edition, folks, here of the Right Side of Campus Morning Edition. It only gets started. A brand new outlook here for sportsbookreview.com. Stay tuned a little bit later. Noon kickoff here. Low Shack in the bag to give you all the picks that you can handle here. From everybody here at sportsbookreview.com and the new morning show and the new lineup, let's cash those tickets. Let's have a lot of fun. I'll see you later, folks.